Okay, so it's 4:05, 4:06. It is Wednesday, April 23rd. This is our second quarter general membership meeting, and we're having it here at the beautiful Gene Autry Museum. We sent out the invitation. We hoped that more members would show up. We only got 2 members that came down and took advantage of all of these great exhibits. We ourselves, we got a tour before we had our board meeting, and now we have most of the park rangers that are joining us here in person. And we'll go over the information that we have. If you look on the side of the panel there, you can see some speaking points. That's the information we're going to touch on. Give me 1 second. Sorry here. Yeah. So that's the information we're going to touch on. I'll go ahead and turn it over to President McLean now to get us kick-started and going. And when we're all done, we will take your questions. If you have any questions specific to any of the comments that we're currently talking about, you can go ahead and put that in the live chat, and we'll catch that and we'll address that. All right, here you go.
News broadcast?
Almost.
All right.
It's working. They're not gonna complain about the volume. I can promise that.
What am I looking at?
Right here. Here, let me go large screen. There you go.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So all of these things I think are going to be pretty brief, and we'll take your questions after. But for starters, the mayor's visit to roll call or those are going to be coming. She's setting those up after now that the state of the city has been done and the budget is out there. The budget is not the budget cuts, I should say, or the 1 and 2 are both of this. The 1,600 projected layoffs are going to be specifically to civilian positions, none sworn. I know some of you guys have already reached out about the line item in the Rec and Parks budget showing the removal of 6 positions. If you look, airship, hold on. Yeah, if you look 2 or 3 pages down, I think it's after that, it actually says recommendation to continue funding those same positions. So, and then you also see the line items of all of the positions in Rec and Parks. You'll see that there's no deduction of those numbers for Rangers. So Rangers aren't being removed. And then for the municipal police officers, they're removing 1 municipal police officer, which was a vacancy for one of the officers that just retired. And then the other captain position, they're removing it after Muskies has now retired. And then they're going to replace it. And basically LAPD's taking that spot and replacing it with another captain. So then over at the airport, there's no reduction of any of those. Our fight, which we can get into a little bit later, is they're trying to civilianize about close to 50 positions, which I mentioned to you in the last meeting. Yeah, so we are going to get back on schedule of getting the mayor out to roll call. She's going to set it up for us as well as with the Rangers as well as with the port. What'd you have?
You touched the layoffs.
Yep.
And the state of the city. Next
Okay.
is retro.
So the retro payment process. So for the Rangers, we do have a JLMC meeting this Friday to discuss that as well as the other outstanding vacation issues. And I know Howard is working on getting something set up with the municipal police and LAPD. On the airport side, the airport has hired a guy by the name of Bob Hess. Sorry, Bob Hess is actually the designer, the programmer that back in 2000 took over the city's legacy and payroll system and replaced it with Pacer. So Bob Hess is the one that did Pacer. So the port hired him first, and now LAAPOA's hired him. Rudy and I were on a Zoom meeting earlier this week. They're expecting to get some report from him this week. From then, we'll find out what the time frame is. What we're told is once they're done with his report, it should take roughly about 2 weeks to get those payments out. So hopefully all this stuff will be wrapped up prior to the end of next month. Arming of the Rangers, still addressing that. Just talking to the chief and to Sherry about getting a meeting with Hugo. We're making the rounds with all the city council members. We did meet a couple weeks ago with Chief McDonald. He's in support of it. He's going to be helping on his end to try to push that as well. Ultimately, we're trying to get it done without having to go through city council and making that into a circus, and just getting the mayor to use it as direction with Rec and Park. So that'll also be discussed at this JLMC meeting. And Q&A. What? Oh yeah, give the treasury report, and then we'll wrap up with any other questions you guys have. Are they already populating?
Not yet. Okay. I gotta go to a different screen.
Okay, just real quick, our total numbers for the end of March, $511,402.47. Considering everything that's going on with the economy, our money is still growing, and that's a good thing. If you have any questions, you're welcome to come see the financials. Quarterlies are available on the website in the members section. And if you have any specific questions, if you guys need to get a hold of me, my personal number, you guys have that. And I'm not sure what my union number is, but reach out to me and I'll get you anything you need. Questions? Questions? Cool.
Okay, so this is simple, just right down to the brass tacks, the nuts and the bolts. And I'm going to take a look at the chat to see if we have any incoming questions here. I see Mr. Drummond. 1 second there, Mr. Drummond. About the audio, thank you, sir. Pension update. Did we not touch pension update? We didn't touch pension update.
Ordinance paperwork and all of that that's going to go with the audio stuff.
Something happened. There we it's going now.
Okay, so the city attorney is doing the draft process. Is it working?
Yeah.
And the paperwork will go to city council. I know it's already teed up for, I believe it's the pause committee. That should go to full council. From there, then they would be getting around to setting up the session. So we still are hopeful that we can get this stuff get going by July 1st, the fiscal year, and getting all that wrapped up. So I know our chief consultant, Steve Leonicio, is still in talks with Paul Gerard, and he's giving updates as it happens. But right now, it's just a procedural thing. We did just currently have a municipal police officer that's getting a disability retirement, and part of his retirement agreement and the percentage, he actually had to fill out a form saying that he's aware of the passing of Measure FF and the opportunity for LAFPP. So he actually had to sign that form waiving it. So things are happening, not as fast as we would like, but there is the process is continuing. So these rumors that saying FPP is not going to happen, you can even look at the latest LAFPP agendas and meetings, and they speak to LAAPOA, the city, and the port making their payments as of July for the Measure FF transfer. So it's still moving forward. There's no stoppage that has to do anything with the budget or anything like that. Is there any other direct question I can answer?
There is. It's let me speak it.
Yep.
Mr. Aaron Ho asks, patrol is getting killed with the RMS situation. Is there anything the union can do to expedite getting us trained and access? No sound? I know. I see sound on the screen. I turned up. Huh? Delay? Okay, good. All right. So, okay. So if you missed it before, what I said in response to Aaron Ho's question, Captain Sasikian is working to get us full access to RMS with LAPD, and we are going to get full access to RMS. So just bear with us, bear with that process. It's going to happen. I'll give it a few more minutes for any other questions to populate into the live chat. We've covered all of the important stuff. If there's anything I missed, Mr. Drummond pointed out the pension update. So that got missed somehow as I was setting up the cards. And luckily, I was able to catch it in the comments. So if there's something that you think I'm missing, go ahead, put it in the comments, and we'll bring it up right now and talk about it. Okay. Any questions from in the gazebo? Who are you and what's your question?
Ranger Pete Stewart, the Park Rangers. My question is about the ERIP program that occurred years ago when we were with Local 721. Is the city at this time supposed to be still taking that out of our check?
So the question, if you didn't hear it, was about the ERIP and should it still be coming out of your check, correct? So the ERIP, the ERIP is set to sunset next year. Meaning it'll 2026. So it's 15 years is what the ERIP's for. Now, I don't know who's starting the rumor saying that there's going to be another golden handshake like the ERIP or the SIP or all that. We were last month we were on a call with the CAO's office and they said absolutely not. There's no plans for any of that. Now, with the 1,600 anticipated layoffs, I could see SCIU or some of the other bigger unions trying to push for some type of happy medium like that. But the city lost money on the ERIP. So yeah, it's still coming out that 1%. But they have no desire to try and come up with something like that as of a month ago. If that changes, we'll let us know. But chances are, even if it does change, they probably would exempt public safety. So but yeah, any other questions on ERIP, SIP, RIP, or any of that? No? Okay. So the question from Naeem is, in the event that the MOU is reopened to discuss the potential deferral of the scheduled COLA, would it be appropriate and strategically advisable to propose the inclusion of additional employee? Is there something more?
No, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So that same call we had a month ago, they talked about 2 years of non-COLA. We're already ahead of the curve because our contract is already eliminating 2 years of COLA in exchange for the pension enhancement. So we're not going to do 2 additional years. We're already doing 2. The other thing they talked about, the possibility of bringing back the 10% of cost above your healthcare premiums, which came about before for the Obamacare. That just went away. For those of you who are on the Kaiser rate, you don't see it. If anyone else has HMOs, you're still paying more. But they talked about that. Those are the only two things that they talked about a month ago as possible proposals. The other ideas they have for that are specific to civilian unions. So we're not looking at any furloughs or anything like that. They are talking about bringing furloughs back twice a DP for civilian jobs. But they're with that layoff list the city's done is putting together, the 1,600 positions. They do want to talk to all the unions to talk about, that type of thing, but none of that has actually happened as of yet.
Okay, Randy Horstmeyer is asking about the over contribution for pension for FP.
Okay, so this is only currently impacting folks who are already in FPP, based on the workaround that LAAPOA did for the officers in MOU 30. The PA and PB about your overtime has created an additional problem that causes more money to come out of your check towards your pension for FPP. So though we're have we got a calendar date yet on that yet for ERC or ERB for the no.
It's going back on the agenda.
Okay, so the overtime issue, we had told it before. LAAPOA got back to us and they're not interested in changing the language, so we didn't get a resolve that we wanted, so we're going back to the Employee Relations Board to argue that issue, and part of that will be addressing, the pension issue, because now you're actually treating the same group of people differently. The folks who are in FPP are getting penalized, and it's not so much a workday issue, it's the overtime issue with the language that LAAPOA said, here's a workaround to get you paid the overtime, which is now creating the problem with the pension. So that's going to be addressed. Hopefully we're back on calendar in the next month. So.
All right, so he missed just the first part of it.
The first part of what?
Yeah, of when you first started to respond. He said he lost volume.
So we should be on calendar in the coming month, hopefully, with ERB to address the issue of the overtime problems, as well as the additional deductions for those who are in FPP for your pension. Is the volume still gone? I mean, it's showing on the screen.
Yes, you see it on screen, but I'm guessing it drops out every now and
Or
again.
the delay.
There is a delay, but the delay is normal. So, all right. So I don't see any more questions on the screen. And we're 25 minutes into this meeting. Might be a quick one. Thank everyone for coming out. Thank you those who joined us on the call. And if you guys think of anything, if you're looking at this meeting a little later and something we missed, please don't hesitate. Send us an email or stop us and beat us down in the hallway like you usually do. We're used to it. And aside from that, got a new question.
How long? Till the repayment, overpayment. You can't tell.
How long until they repay the overpayment? So the pension overpayment. Until they repay. The first part of that process is going to be to stop the overpayment, and then work out how they're going to repay you the monies that they took in excess. So obviously they're having trouble paying overtime monies and regular scheduled salary monies from the previous system because it doesn't fit within this current pay period and workday. So that's going to present its own little set of issues. I'm not giving them an excuse or a way out. I'm just telling you that's what's going to happen. But we're going to keep our foot on their necks as best we can until you get all your money, until we get all of our money, because they owe me money as well. Not from the FPP, but retro pay. So. Okay. So with that, I want to thank the Gene Autry Museum for hosting us. This is a great location. I encourage each of you to actually come out, and they've got a very good exhibit. I'd never been here before. I'm pretty impressed by what I was exposed to. It's great. So when you get a chance, stop by, check it out. They did us a solid, do them a solid, give them the support. And our next general membership meeting is July. Somebody help me out with the date. I know it's on the email. I just want to say it though. July 23rd. And that's going to be in the roll call room at the airport police station, 4 o'clock. If we don't see you before then, we will see you there. Thank you all for joining. Bye-bye.